Okay, welcome back to another episode of Swans Cast. So we are here today to discuss probably not the result that we all wanted, but a draw against Wycombe Wanderers at home in the Liberty Stadium. Um, Once again, I was at work. I was trying to watch the game as much as I could, but I've got Aled and Lee with me today who did watch the game in its entirety, so we'll be able to offer more of an insight than myself. So what do you think of the
Hello.
game then, boys?
You go
Comeback
first,
is
Alan.
real. But I like doing the. I agree with Lee today. But no. Don't know. I think we just didn't take our opportunities. And then think that we were a bit lucky with the initial penalty to then come back into the game and get the draw.
You think lucky with the penalty?
It's definitely a penalty, but like that is what sparked us to then come back into the game for the second goal.
A little bit of luck maybe to get the fact that he's done it is how you're saying. Like it was
Yeah.
he didn't really need to do it. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we had chances that we probably should have scored before that.
100%.
So, Lee, what do you think?
If there was ever a game that summed up being a Swans fan, that was it, because it was just so much expectation going into the game after the last couple of games, and then they played well for a bit, and then they were rubbish for a spell, and then it was great comeback. It was that's just typical Swans, really summed up in one game. But I don't know. I'm a bit torn again because I'm gutted with the result because it's Wycombe. They should be getting 3 points at home, so I think it's a poor result. But then come back into the game and get 2-2, and the fact that nobody else won as well. So I think it's just getting a bit tight at the top, and I think everyone's just feeling the pressure. I think so. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how important the drop points are at the end of the season.
It's definitely a missed opportunity, and I don't think anyone expected that. And yeah, I mean, I guess the players also didn't. I don't think it was through lack of trying. I think from the bit that I saw, the dip in sort of how we were playing in the first half seemed to go in line with Andre Ayew getting subbed off. So maybe like the combination of Low, Routledge, Roberts as a front three just wasn't working with us getting forward, and then that had a knock-on effect with us keeping the ball and creating stuff and moving it up through the midfield and so on and so on. So as that happens, Wycombe maybe gain a bit of confidence because they're getting a bit more of the ball. Obviously, whatever said at half time, at half time as the away team, you have a little bit of a chance to come out at the start of the second half while everyone's like got to switch back on and try and take advantage of that, haven't you? And they did. So you can't take credit away from the goal. I think the interplay between the players to set it up and the half volley it was really good quality, to be fair. And I know we're going to discuss it in more detail in a bit. Actually, let's just do it now. So the goal, Freddie Woodman, from our perspective, potentially could have done a bit better with the first one.
Yeah, I think for me, the B just flew past me. I think he's got to save it. I'm gonna be a bit harsh because he's there. He gets beaten at the near post, and he's in the position to make the save. I say it is good play and it's a great strike, but he's got to save it for me. It's a mistake. He's got to save it.
I'm just saying, like,
to be
from
blunt,
the Wycombe perspective, like us good create like a good chance created. He got the shot away, and perhaps you could argue, which isn't an excuse at all, but perhaps he wasn't expecting like that sort of shot to come from, because he was kind of like a snapshot outside the box. It's up nice for him, and he's done a good half volley, but I don't think his positioning was sort of prepared for that coming in, which isn't an excuse because he still probably should have saved it, and arguably then you should be more prepared for that. So yeah, it is what it is. What do you reckon, Aled?
Yeah, I thought yesterday he's got to save that because it's at his near post. And in reality, I think he does put both hands towards it. He just doesn't make the connection, and it just is at the side of him before he sort of reacts, I guess.
So we've just been looking at it, the highlights, and we slowed it down on YouTube to like you can slow it down to half or quarter speeds. And the first angle, to be fair, if you just watch the first angle, which if you've seen the Sky Sports highlights, they only show that angle. Yeah, it looks like a good strike, and you can't really criticise the keeper from that angle. But when you look at it directly on Woodman facing the goal, he's basically there. And as you pointed out, Lee, you mentioned he wasn't that full stretch trying to go for that ball. And you'd argue if he was, and he just punches that, he saves it.
Yeah. I don't know whether I'm not like a goalkeeping expert. I don't know whether his positioning was wrong in the first place or anything, but he's so slow to get across and to get beaten at the near post when he's not even at full stretch. I think that's poor.
Considering how quick they were coming forward with that counter, they were playing like 1-2s interlinking, and they came quite forward quite quick. It was only like 20 seconds after the kickoff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 25 seconds.
He's backtracking just before he starts to make the save, so he was quite far up in his box, and he's sort of backtracking to get into position. So I don't know why maybe he's still so far forward when they're clearly coming forward at some pace. Because if there's a long shot, like you get a chance it goes over his head as well.
It could be a case of he just thought he had more time. He didn't expect it coming so quick. Because obviously with goalkeepers now, they obviously do the whole command of the area and that sort of thing. And you do see keepers off their line all the time. But you are right in saying that why isn't he back? But it could just be a case of he thinks we're going to get a foot in and it's going to be slowed down. They're not going to be able to pass through us in 20 seconds and score a goal.
Yeah, maybe. But I think maybe, because obviously I mentioned this to you as well, Lee. Bennett is marking the other guy that was forward, the other striker, who was peeling off to the left. And Bennett was kind of caught between two minds. Do I close the guy down who's playing the 1-2, or do I stay with my man? Because if I go to the guy, he's going to play him in, and he's like through on goal. So I don't know whether Woodman was kind of also covering, expecting that ball to be played in, and then he would have closed down this other striker initially, and then obviously when they start playing the neat one-touch pass, and he started backtracking then to like get back into position. I don't know. I'm not a goalkeeper expert either. We're just over-analysing a goal, which could be massive in the outcome of the season, really, when you look at what else happened yesterday. But it is what it is. Like, we're not here to bash Woodman. He's still a young keeper. He's had a solid season. He's going to make mistakes. That's why he's sent on loan to a lower league to learn. So, unfortunately, we've just got to put up with it when it happens. It's fine to criticise in a fair way, but yeah.
I think with Woodman, this might be a bit harsh, but I think there's been more mistakes in sort of the second half of the season creeping in. I think that he's not, like, at the beginning of the season, I think it was sort of all said, wasn't it, that he could definitely sort of maybe start for Newcastle if they recall him. I don't think he's ready for the Premier League yet. No way.
I'll tell you what it might be. All them rumours about Arsenal in January. Like,
maybe.
Obviously, there were rumours not about him moving in January, but potentially going in the summer. Maybe he's caught wind, or maybe there has been a conversation. Maybe his agent said, like, they are sniffing around you. And maybe now he feels a bit more... He's playing with a bit more pressure on him. And trying too hard, potentially. Because at the end of the day, it's not like he's trying to get a move away from us. So that's why he's doing it. He's not a lone player here. So he's here in the shop window. That's how it works. It's not like he's trying to do one over us by going to Arsenal. He's not our player in the first place. So if he performs as well as he can here, he might get a good move somewhere afterwards. Whether that's coming back here, which I'm sure if there's no options, he would do that. But if Arsenal come calling, then obviously they're going to have more of a say than we would.
Yeah, might be right there, because he hadn't put a foot wrong for ages, did he? But then lately, I think, like I said, especially in the second half of the season, we had like the one against Blackburn away, which just went straight through him, and then maybe the ones against Bournemouth as well were like straight at him. One of them, I think, the first one.
Yeah.
And then the Bristol City
Bristol being
mistake.
closed
Yeah.
down. There's another one that was closed down as well, wasn't there? I can't remember where that was.
Yeah, there was. I can't remember which one that was. There was another one of them, and then it was yesterday. Then I think there was 3 mistakes yesterday, which we'll probably go on to. That was the first one. I think there was 3 big mistakes he
Well,
made.
while we're on the topic of him, let's talk about the second goal. So, not too long after, 51st minute, so 5 minutes after this one, basically. For me, yeah, you're saying Woodman, you probably could have done better again here, but for me, the issue in this one, I don't know what the player was for Wycombe, but there's a player out wide on if you're facing towards our goal on the left-hand side of our box. You've got Horahan, who's kind of in the right wing-back position, marking this guy who's got the ball. He's been quite tricky with it, dribbling, cutting in and out, trying to lose Horahan essentially. And Horahan's just standing off him and letting him basically run with the ball. So he ends up running into the box, gets a yard on Horahan and gets a shot away, and yeah, it goes in. For me, I know we're going to maybe talk a little bit about Woodman, could have done a bit better, but I think more of the blame needs to go on Horahan for that one.
Yeah, I think it's fair. It's a combination of the two, isn't it? He doesn't really close him down, but like Woodman does get 2 hands to it.
Yeah,
he does get 2 hands to that shot, and it goes over him. I think, yeah,
it kind of like
rolls.
He's put his arm flat on the floor, and because of the pace the ball is rolling at, when it hits his arm, it just flicks up and goes in.
Yeah, it's quite poor. I don't know if he's blindsided a little bit, but he just doesn't get a strong enough hand to it. And yeah, like you said, or a hand gives him the space. So it's kind of poor goal all round, really.
I think it just links to. Oh, go on, Alid.
I gotta say that I think Roberts was marking another player, but Routledge wasn't, and I feel like they could probably tell that he was struggling, and Roberts only makes a last ditch attempt when he gets the shot away to block it. I feel like,
to be fair though, Routledge is the striker at this point.
He's not far away though. He's not far away. He's like,
that speaks of Routledge tracking back though. Like if that's probably are you on the pitch as a striker, would he be in that same position as Routledge?
Yeah, possibly.
You know, I'm just saying, like, yeah, we could maybe say Routledge wasn't marking someone in the box, but he's not really the one you want there. So then that asks a bigger question.
But I'm just saying, like, I feel like perhaps someone should have gone more quickly to help, because there was Roberts and Routledge there, and they could probably tell that Horahan was struggling. Maybe,
but I think for when we've just watched it back, for me, like Horahan, it's not like he just does him and comes straight into the box. Like they're out there for about 5-6 seconds before he does him and comes into the box. If he thinks he can't make a tackle and he's going to get past him, he just needs to bring him down outside the box.
He doesn't. It's not even that. He doesn't even engage him. You see, like I always sing Grimes' praise because he doesn't always like necessarily put a foot in, but he makes it difficult for players.
He engages them. Away.
He gets involved. He gets stuck into them. He doesn't necessarily put a foot in, but he engages them and just pushes them away or makes it difficult. He just stands off him.
Do you know what it reminded me of? The classic Alan Tate.
Running away from people, backing off.
Oh, when he was doing that in the first game against Man City in the Premier League, every time someone ran at him, I was like crying.
I forgot that even existed.
Yeah, Alan Tate backing off.
What was the worst against Everton? Fellaini like rinsed us. I think that was the last game he ever played under a loud drop, and that was it. Like he was like, "You're never playing again. You were awful." I think he played centre back, didn't he? And he was just awful.
Come on.
Anyway, we know you had to bash Alan Tate.
I know, bloody we're on one today. Woodman, Horahan, Tate. Who's next?
But yeah, I think Horahan, like, just do something. Like, just try and stick a foot in, or try and like get your body in the way or something. Just don't let him run past you. I just don't get. He's going out wide, cuts in, goes out wide, and it cuts back in and gets past him. It's just like too easy.
And in all that, he never even touches him.
No.
Yeah,
I think it ties back to what we've been saying in the last 2 games, and we've said how well Grimes and Fulton have played in terms of what they do off the ball, and then we looked at Horahan's stats, and he was miles off those two. That just comes back to that. I think, I know I've said about like Danda, that he does the same thing, that he doesn't engage players in midfield. I think Horahan's exactly the same.
But that's the problem. Is like you're playing an attacking midfielder in a flat three. That's the issue. It's not like it sounds like we're going in on Horahan, and he should have done better here. You can't blame him for being played slightly out of where his position is at the end of the day, and you can't expect him at the click of a finger just to like all of a sudden have that side of his game present.
Yeah.
If you're looking at his stats again, in terms of that side of the game, no clearances, no blocked shots, no interceptions, 1 tackle. So it's the same story every time, and then you compare it to Fulton, 2 clearances, 1 blocked shot, no interceptions, 2 tackles. And if you compare it to Grimes, 2 clearances, 3 blocked shots, no interceptions, 3 tackles. It's just every single game, it's just clear as day, the 3 of them. It's always the same.
Yeah.
So if Cooper's not going to play Horahan in that attacking role, where he's behind, like, especially now we've gone 4-3-3 as well.
Yeah, I think if he wants to play the flat three, it's got to be Smith, isn't it? I maybe
Yeah.
wonder, like maybe before the next, if we do the match preview, like whenever we do it, I want to see the stats. You know, like we've looked at Horahan and Grimes.
Yeah.
I'll look at a game where it was Horahan
Smith.
and it was Fulton, Grimes, and Smith. Have a look how the stats compared between the 3 of them. There's those 3 in midfield.
Another thing I would say is like we let George Byers go, but I think George Byers fits a flat 3 more. I think if he's in that role, he probably would have got stuck in. He is like he was an attacking midfielder when he got brought into the first team, but he has transitioned better to being able to play in a deeper role, and he makes a tackle sometimes and stuff like that. And you know, like maybe that wasn't the right decision to let him go.
Yeah, but I think like again, it's a strange one. I think maybe he should have just played Fulton and Grimes as a 2 in front of the back 4 and just push Horahan into the middle.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him do that.
Yeah, I think it's not going to happen at this point. He clearly doesn't. I mean, he got rid of Selena. He got rid of Selena, and he hardly uses Dander, so he clearly is not a fan of that attacking midfielder position, I think. Okay, so we didn't really touch on. So we've looked at the 2 Wycombe goals. Let's just quickly talk about any notable incidents in the first half, because those 2 goals happened at the start of the second half. Arguably, I would say we should have been ahead. I know you said like about 20 minutes in, it started going in Wycombe's favour, which kind of linked in with Andre Ayew getting subbed off for what seemed to be hamstring injury, I believe. Not confirmed yet.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm lying. Andre Ayew got subbed off 9 minutes in, so it wasn't quite that link, but he definitely wasn't there to hold the ball up as well. Routledge comes on, which I'm a bit surprised, because the reason I would have assumed Routledge didn't start would have been because he's tired, having done the last 2 games, being like 37 or however old he is now.
Yeah, 36, isn't he?
Something like
Though, he did then get subbed off at a later point.
Well, exactly. So that like highlights further that he obviously didn't start for that reason.
He always comes off anyway when he starts, doesn't he? At like 60 minutes.
Yeah, so maybe, I don't know, Whittaker would have been a better option to bring on. I know he couldn't have brought Cullen on because he probably wouldn't have been ready for that length of time. That makes sense. Anyway, Andre Ayew's gone. We'll wait and see how long he's out for. Hopefully it's not that bad, but yeah.
He was walking on it, wasn't he? Quite well.
Yeah, but they always walk off on hamstring injury. It doesn't mean anything. That's true.
Probably have a scan tomorrow now.
Yeah, they said 2 days, and then they'll know more. Don't expect to see him for a QPR game though.
No.
Unless it's nothing.
I didn't see much of the first half, but I saw one of Connor Roberts' chances. You guys are telling me he had another he should have scored. So do you want to walk me through that?
I'm trying to think. Go on, Ali, you go.
I'm trying to think as well.
Well, you were saying he definitely should have scored yesterday.
I think.
Yeah, he was in 2 1-on-1s, wasn't he? Basically, I think.
Yeah.
I think the second one he needed to hook basically over the keeper. I think, and then what was the first one?
The one I saw was the counter-attack where Jamal Lewis played him in on the right. He's cut in like Andre Ayew would do to use his left foot to try and curl it into the bottom corner, but he didn't curl it enough and it's just gone straight to the keeper. But he's not a left-footed player, is he? So
yeah, the other one is just a ball over the top, and he gets on the end of it, and he's sort of one-on-one with the keeper. But I think maybe being a bit harsh because he's essentially our right back being asked to finish chances, isn't he, at the moment? But yeah, I think like maybe a striker in that position like goes round the keeper or hooks it over him. But it was a good chance.
Yeah, if Cooper's going to play him there, though, you've got to expect him to do the business, really.
One of them was, I think it might be the first one. I'm not sure. Manning put a through ball in. It came off the defender's knee when he was trying to touch it down, and Roberts is just taking the chance from his mistake, got through 1-on-1, and then the keeper's made a good save because he tried to put it low instead of trying to put it over the keeper.
Fair enough. Anything else in the first half that stands out?
No, I think, like you said, Ayew going off. I think we had a good spell then for about 10 minutes because I know like Roberts had the chances and then Horahan had a good strike. To be fair, on the edge of the box, he had one which only just went wide. After that, we were just poor up until after they scored the 2 goals. We were awful. I don't know why. I don't know what happened, but we were dreadful.
Okay, so after we got 2-0 down and we did decide to switch on, Cooper did make 3 substitutes, so that could be why, perhaps. One of them being Corey Smith for Horahan. Maybe if we're going to play the 3, that offers the most stability. But he also brought Jan Dander on, actually, for Fulton, so really what I've just said is relevant because we're doing the same, but I think he did push Jan Dander on because we're 2-0 up, 2-0 down. So you kind of got to go for it. So we did say to Dander to get forward. And then the last one was Whittaker for Norton. So Roberts drops back to right back and Whittaker goes on the right wing. So I'm starting to think he is like a winger. I don't know. But that's where he's... Yeah, who knows?
It's hard to tell, isn't it? Because we haven't seen him play very much in that sort of striker role because someone else is always there. But he does always seem to end up out on that wing. But it could be a case of Cooper just wants him out on the wing getting experience before trying to put him in. I did hear that he was like both from his days in Derby's youth academy the other day. In terms of his strength, I mean, we've seen it in a couple of games, I think, where he's just been shoved off the ball quite easily.
He's quite quick as well, so maybe winger is good.
Yeah, he has got the pace
the ball and control the ball decent. So
yeah,
there was one run he made up the wing, wasn't there? That was quite good. He got brought down.
Yeah, and got us a foul.
Anyway, so we get an opportunity to come back into the game by a handball in the box. Don't really know what to describe other than the fact that the players kind of goes down and I think he thinks he's the goalkeeper for a second. Puts his hand down and stops the ball, doesn't he? And then he's trying to argue. He clearly, literally stopped the ball dead with his hand.
Yeah.
I mean, I would argue deliberate handball, but yeah, it was definitely a penalty. And Jamal Lowe took it, which I was quite surprised at because I thought it would have been Matt Grimes with Ayew not being on the pitch. But very good penalty, to be honest.
Yeah, it was good. Well taken. He dispatched it well, in all fairness.
I gotta say, speaking of Lowe, there was one other opportunity where he manages to get on the outside of the keeper, and then he just can't get it into the box for a second player to follow up.
So that was just before this happened, and was it Lowe that got the original shot away that the keeper saved, and then Routledge came in with a follow up, and that got cleared off the line?
Yeah, I think so.
That was a bit unlucky. That was good save by the keeper the first time, and then good positional defence then to get in the way. There was 2 defenders on the line and the keeper in the way for Routledge's shot, so difficult to get that in. But frustrating. Jamal Lowe, 4 goals in 3 games. It's like he just does it in. He has a streak where he don't score, a streak where he does score, and it's just continuing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't know. It's just sorry.
No, I was going to carry on. What was I going to say? Oh, Lowe.
I was going to say I think it's definitely a confidence.
It probably
confidence thing for Lowe. and he's just managed to get his spark back a little bit.
Yeah, probably right. Liam Cullen then comes on for Wayne Routledge, who obviously got brought on as a sub himself. When you got 5 subs, I guess you got that opportunity to kind of do stuff like that. First time I've seen us use 5 subs in a long time, to be fair.
Well, since what's his face got injured, didn't it? In
The
City game
Huddersfield away when he used them
Huddersfield,
all and then someone got injured.
And then, yep, it was Areola, wasn't it?
No, Ariola didn't get injured, did he?
No,
Morris.
not Areola. Yeah, that's
Morris.
Morris.
Yeah. So Cullen comes on, and less than 10 minutes after he comes on, he gets himself a goal on his return to the team from his layoff of injury. Connor Roberts, good ball in, and he heads it in. So another assist for one of our wing backs. 2-2.
Yeah, I think you can see the difference in having an actual out and out 9 in there, because like you said, he makes that run behind the defence, which nobody does that we've got at the moment. Like Ayew doesn't do that.
Yeah,
he's not a striker. It's just a massive difference having somebody making those runs in that 6-yard box.
Well, they got.
It was a good finish.
You could tell from the assists that our wing backs or full backs, whatever you want to call them, the amount of assists they've got from crosses, it's weird how they got so many assists, and we're saying no one makes those runs. But you're right. With someone making those runs more, if they could put that sort of ball in, then surely that's gonna help us with our goal scoring issues. It's just a whipped ball, isn't it? Whipped round so that you can run behind a player, and just get on the end of it, and it goes in. And to be honest, saved our blushes a little bit, I guess you could say.
Oh yeah.
2-2. I mean, a draw isn't what we would have wanted, but 2-0 down, you kind of take it at that point.
Yeah.
I think after that second goal, I feel like we only had maybe one chance where somebody gets pushed in the back.
Manning.
And there were shouts for another penalty.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Before that happened, though, Wycombe hit the post, which is the third issue that Lee wants to talk about with Woodman.
He just doesn't command that situation at all. He hits the post, but he sort of dives to block it if it's going in. So, because it hits the post, he's in no man's land. So either you go and punch that ball out to stop it hitting the post or going in, or you don't dive for it.
Yeah,
because it bounces back to.
He kind of leaves his arms not extended, doesn't he? So he just extends them enough to block the goal.
Yeah, he's just put his arm inside the post. So he's like, if it's going inside the post, then I'm saving it. But if it hits the post, I'm in no man's land.
Yeah,
and he should have scored from it.
And it comes out, falls to a Wycombe player, and he basically had an open goal and managed to put it wide. So
should have lost the game there. He should have scored.
Yeah. But going back to that other incident, then we're up the other end, and there's a cross coming in from the right again. Man ends up going for the header. He jumps for it, and just as he's taken off, the defender literally just pushes him. It doesn't even make an attempt to get the ball. I think that's a penalty, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it was. In all fairness, they definitely should have had one in the first half as well, because I forgot about that when we were talking about the first half. Had a handball in the box. I can't remember who it was.
Was it Bennett? So he got a yellow card.
No, Bennett got a yellow card for a foul.
Yeah.
Well, it says handball on you.
Yeah, because he falls over.
Oh yeah.
He falls over,
That's right.
And the player's getting away, and he just grabs the ball with his hand.
All right.
Yeah, I think he slipped because the pitch hadn't long been watered. It was 4 minutes in or something, wasn't it? And
I hate when Bennett gets booked early
grabs
because he hasn't got the pace to deal with that.
Aled, you spotted as well, didn't you? There was one bit in the first half where he's tracking back from a corner or something.
Yeah,
and you can see he's going to nail someone, and he's on a yellow card. But luckily, they pass it on before he gets them. You can see him just making a beeline for
this player.
He's running behind him, counter attack.
As fast as Bennett can go.
Yeah, if he doesn't pass that ball, Bennett's taking him out and he's off. You just see it was coming.
Well, it didn't happen, luckily. But yeah, so they should have had a penalty in the first half, you're saying.
Yeah,
be
that was
honest,
a pen, and I do think ours was a pen as well.
Kind of evens out then, I guess.
Like the man in one, I think. That was...
I thought
Yeah.
it was just with their potential penalty or whatever. I haven't actually seen it, but at the time I just thought it was sort of a sliding block. But I didn't think I saw a replay, so I can't comment on it.
Fair, I haven't seen that either, so just take Lee's word for that. But I guess if that is the case, it kind of equals out that we didn't get a one at the end. So draw probably the fair result on the balance of the game. I don't think Wycombe deserved to lose. So
Yeah,
as much as that's painful to say,
that's fair.
looking at our stats, we had 61% possession. We actually had 14 shots on goal with 8 on target, which is probably the highest amount on target for a while. Shame we couldn't take advantage of that. But I mean, we scored 2 goals, which all season 2 goals often has been enough. So then you can't just always rely on your defence. That's the thing. 4 big chances for Swansea, 2 big chances missed. I'm guessing those 2 are Connor Roberts' 2 chances.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when you've got 4 big chances and you've scored 2 goals, maybe you look back and think you should have won the game. Wycombe only had 1 big chance. I think that's the one that they missed at the end as well.
Probably.
Yeah,
I don't think either of the goals.
As well,
I don't think either of the goals counted as a big chance.
No.
I think it's the one where he's literally missed the open goal after the other post. Yeah. Decent though. The keeper's made 5 saves. Woodman made 2. So again, highlighting maybe it wasn't his best performance. Looking at passes, well. 78% accuracy, 456 passes. They only made 281. So again, not doing enough with the ball. Not really too much more to say on the stats side of things. Any player performances you want to highlight?
There wasn't any standout performance really. I don't know. It's hard. It's so frustrating because they played so well for 2 games, and then it was just such a change in performance, especially after the first 15, 20 minutes. Wycombe looked the better side for a large part of the game. I think I think credit to the subs who came on and pulled the game back for us, like you said, spared our blushes. I think Danda played well when he came on, got the ball moving. In all fairness to him,
yeah.
Liam Cullen looked sharp, good finish. I think they're probably the 2.
Even Whittaker, just asking different questions, and you. So
I think they're probably the 2 standout for me, Danda and Cullen.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Going into the next game then, time to make a couple more changes again, potentially. Well, you're going to have to with Ayu being out.
Yeah.
Well, we'll discuss that in more detail, I know, in the pre-match video. But any final words then about this game? I mean, I haven't got the predictions in front of me, but I don't think anyone predicted draw.
No. I think most of us predicted wins to some shape or form.
Well,
I did well. I did think it was going to be difficult. I said it was going to be hard, and I said 1-0, as I thought it was going to be a bit of a
1-0 Roberts be let you down big time.
Yeah, no, I wonder if he scored earlier on. It would have been all right. But I don't know. It's hard because I think on paper it's a poor result because we've drawn with Wycombe at home, especially with the other results. Is a massive missed opportunity. But then now that I've slept on it again and I've sort of calmed down a bit, we've actually gained a point on Watford, haven't we? So
yeah,
and nobody else won. Brentford drew with Millwall.
I think
probably a game that they should be winning.
It is disappointing, like you're saying. I think it is disappointing, but it would have been more disappointing if it was 0-0 because we were 2-0 down and we came back. That could be so important with us going forward because if we had lost that game 2-0, that could have been it. Going not chasing anymore. You're the form as if you're going into the playoffs. And I know it's not another win, but it's coming back from 2-0 down just in terms of confidence. That's going to help.
It's going to boost you, isn't it?
Yeah,
and it's going to boost your morale as well.
Yeah, well, yesterday I was, like I said, I was on the side of oh my God, we've missed such a good opportunity. It's such a bad result because obviously Watford lost. But I think the comeback and the point probably keeps us in it. Watford lost, so that point could be massive at the end of the season.
It could.
So
It could be
we're still in it.
massive, or the 2 points that we didn't get could be massive. We'll see.
Yeah, but look, nobody's winning. Brentford are not stumbling, are they, at the moment?
Yeah.
We've had 2 good results and now a poor result at home, and Watford losing to Luton. I know it's their derby, but I read somewhere that they haven't lost to Luton in the league for 20 years or something.
I told you that was a banana skin for them, didn't I?
But they haven't lost them, so it's like
Didn't put
it
in my
was
bet
a bit of a
though.
banana skin. And
Should've
then
been a bet, Luke.
so I just think it's getting. I just think it's just so tight. Everybody's looking shaky at the moment, apart from Bournemouth.
So Watford are still definitely in control of second place, but this is how the league tables looking. Norwich got promoted because everyone bottled it, basically.
Yeah.
They were going to get promoted anyway, but it was confirmed because everyone bottled it. So then, as a result of that, they decided to go lose 3-1 to Bournemouth. After Coombe 1-0, which was quite a spectacular goal, actually.
On that, Bournemouth are absolutely class at the moment. Did you see that Dan Juma's goal? He ripped us apart, didn't he, when they beat us up there? That goal he scored yesterday was incredible. They are flying.
5 wins on the bounce for them.
I don't want Bournemouth in the playoffs. Bloody hell.
Yeah, no. Well, he might not have a choice. Especially if they win their first match, if they get the second.
I think we need second. Because I think Bournemouth, the way they're going, are going to win the playoffs.
Yeah, or maybe they're the team that's peaked too early.
Maybe.
But we'll see. So 82 points for Watford, and then we're on 76. No games in hand anymore. Brentford are on 74 with a game in hand. Bournemouth are also on 74. So Brentford need to win that game in hand, or at least get a point.
Who's it
Otherwise,
against?
Rotherham.
We're talking about all this like we can get second and Brentford can still get second, but if Watford did a master bottle job, so could Bournemouth.
Yeah,
I don't think they will. I don't think they will, because I think the only thing that's keeping Brentford in the hunt really is the game in hand and the fact that they're playing Bournemouth, but playing Watford, sorry. But I'm just saying, theoretically, it's mathematically possible. Anyway, for us then, the situation is we play QPR now on Tuesday and Watford play Norwich, okay? So we kind of need Norwich to win that game. You've got to back ourselves to win against QPR, which I know is easier said than done, especially after a draw against Wycombe. But if we're going to have any aspirations of finishing second, then you've got to go and win that game. So if Norwich decide they really do want to get 100 points and turn up and beat Watford, puts us 3 points behind. However, we still have to play them, which we all know is the last game of the season, but we still need them to drop points in another game, because goal difference is going to go in their favour even if we win that game and it's like the same points. They are playing though Millwall and Brentford, who are both quite tough games. I know we beat Millwall 3-0 the other day, but they're not a bad team. They got a good result against Brentford yesterday, didn't they? So they drew 0-0.
Yeah, I think we're at the point now with that draw yesterday and still the 6 point gap and the goal difference. We're at the point where we have to win all 4 games. I think. Yeah, I think we're at that.
So we have to say we do our job. I'm just theorising how it happens. So I think the most realistic scenario is Norwich win against Watford is what we need, and we probably need like Brentford and Watford. Brentford needs a win, don't they, really? No, yeah. They can draw, actually. A draw is probably better for us, because if Brentford win, they'll probably leapfrog us themselves if they win their game.
We need Brentford to lose to Bournemouth, really, don't we? Because then we have the edge then, don't we?
But like a Watford and Brentford draw would be perfect, as long as we can get the job done against Watford ourselves. Providing Watford also lose to Norwich.
How did we do against them earlier in the season?
We won 2-1 at home. And Jamal celebrated in front of the GoPro.
Yeah, I think...
I
just think it's coming down. I think it's going to be the last game of the season that all 3 teams can get promoted, I think. And I think we will draw and then Brentford will win to go up and sneak second.
Oh, well, we'll see.
It's going to be some form of shenanigans.
I hope we're in the hunt last game of the season, though. That'd be class.
Just make it interesting, wouldn't it? It'll just be exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we can. Are they all playing the same time? That's normally what happens, isn't it?
Surely they would be, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Is there fans in the last game of the season?
No, it won't be for our last game, but it will be for the playoffs.
Not gonna lie. Not sure I'd want to.
Well, we're away
Want them
anyway.
there.
So I was just wondering if they would have fans, that's all. Because that wouldn't be nice.
It's the 12:30 kickoff. Saturday the 8th of May, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
big game, big game. Okay, well, we'll call it there, boys. So cheers for coming. We'll maybe try and get the QPR game done tomorrow, the pre-match. And then, what time are we kicking off on Tuesday? Is it like 8?
7 is, sorry.
7. They're all over the place, these midweek
Yeah,
kickoff
it's 7.
times.
Yeah, I just realised as well, like the Norwich game, Norwich and Watford game, and the Brentford game, they all kick off at 6, and then we kick off at 7.
Just, hopefully the boys just don't look at the result, I guess. Or just don't look at what's going on. It's best
They're probably
way to
at
approach
a
it.
point of no phones in that time.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe they should extend that ban for the end of the season, because it worked wonders.
Yeah.
Or perhaps people should stop tweeting them all abuse, and then they wouldn't have to see it. And then if that is having an impact, maybe if people thought about that. But yeah, I know.
Although within that hour, they're probably doing a warm up anyway. So
Yeah, but they go back to the changing rooms and they in between, and they probably have a look at their phone.
They've got like they'll have like Sky and stuff on in the dressing room as well, won't they?
Yeah. Okay, well, cheers for coming out, Lee. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. We got some, end of the season's coming soon, so we're going to have a think about what we can do for the summer and try and probably have a bit of a refresh for next season in terms of the format. So when we've decided exactly what we're going to do, we'll obviously talk about that and try and get some, well, I don't know, an exciting structure, I guess, going forward. If you've got any ideas, don't forget, and feel free to let us know in the comments about anything you'd like us to do or see. I'm sure when Lee gets back in the stadium with the season ticket, you can do some recordings of himself down the stadium, like Arsenal Fan TV. He'll just grab a random fan and do an interview. I'm joking.
can you imagine?
Don't forget to say hello though if you do see him in the stadium. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. Or all of us when we can go.
You have to. Where's Swans TV match?
Yeah.
That's how you can identify him.
Yeah, we'll have to get some more of that over the summer. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we shall see you in the next video.
Yeah,
See you
cheers.
soon.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, to click the like button to help us grow. To keep up to date with all of our new uploads, hit the subscribe button and push the bell to ensure you are notified of all of our new videos. As always, engage in the comments and let us know your opinions on what we discussed today. And if you want to support us directly, check out our new merch where you can find some awesome Swansea related t-shirts.